Hello, Swivelheads. It's Greg Allison. This is really late, pardon me, but the tensions with the Koreas is off the charts with shelling, provocations. This could get hot any minute now. And North Korea is a particular threat, and it's worse than most people think. A lot of people haven't got the gravity of what I've been trying to communicate about North Korea, especially Kim Jong Un, the Hermit Kingdom, and the dear leader of the Hermit Kingdom, who lives in a total la la land. He has got a worldview that is immensely warped. So, in case y'all missed it, and I'm sure by now you've heard about it, North Korea has actually shelled over 200 rounds of artillery into the islands, or actually just off the shore of South Korean islands, Young Yan, Pyong, and Bang Yang. I don't know. I can't pronounce these. Are Chinese, excuse me, North Korean, South Korean island names. I don't speak Korean. I am going to see if my audio is good. So I'm going to update this. Susan, the chat room, guys. As you can see, I'm back in Bama, but I've had a lot of logistical issues just trying to get everything together here. So it makes me have to come here really late tonight. So apologies for that. So we'll see how we're doing here in terms of watching. All right, guys, if you can hear me, give me a 5x5. Well, we got 16 in the chat room. All right, good. We got Alaska on board. Let me know if you hear me, guys. 5x5. Very good. Thank you. So I've had some audio issues. I am doing this from my laptop because my desktop, my internet service provider is not giving me internet right now. And I don't know why. It's late. I don't have time to call them and coordinate that. So bear with me, guys. This is a very tense situation that can go off the charts real fast. Now, here's what I've been telling you guys for a long time. And I'm going to show you a video in a little bit to take it home to you, to take this point home so you really understand where I'm coming from. The Hermit Kingdom is isolated. That's why we call it the Hermit Kingdom. The powers that be are starving the people there so they can keep their military to the nth degree and keep power over those people. They do this through fear. The North Koreans have been constantly, for many decades, telling their people that the United States wants to attack and take them over, that the United States is extremely aggressive, that we have plans to obliterate North Korea, and all of them have their lives at risk, so they've got to do all kind of sacrifice. People there are starving. The people there, if you look at a satellite photograph of the area, North Korea looks dark. You see lots of lights over in China and Russia and Mexico. You see lots of lights in South Korea, but in North Korea, it's dark. The people there live in abject poverty. They do this in support of North Korean military regime. They have a huge military, and they've got up to 50 to 60 nuclear weapons, it's now believed. That's been the latest count I've seen. That's not even posted yet, everything else. And they're doubling their production rate of them. We have missile defense, a ground-based missile interceptor, which should take out some of those missiles. But our missile defense system has 44 interceptors, mostly based at Fort Greely, with a few of them at Vandenberg Air Force Base. Now, these interceptors have a 57% success rate in intercepts. This means that we might at best take out, with this system, 25 North Korean nuclear devices, which leaves 25, maybe 35 that could possibly get through if they function appropriately and hit targets. Now, in North Korea, there's also THAAD, the inter-altitude defense system that might take out some that may be at sea, may be taken out by the Aegis system, the SM-2. I believe would be the operative missile for that in the Aegis system. So, guys, this is something to consider. Now, let's go back to North Korea and the mentality. This is what a lot of people don't take coming. You assume that things are logical, and you assume that all these things occur the way that we think here in America. But I got to bring a story to you. I got to bring this home to you why this threat is so grave, and I'm going to do it through a biblical reference. We're going to talk about Joseph. Now, you might remember Joseph was sold to a caravan by his brothers. They were so jealous of him. You might remember he had his coat of many colors, which I'll come back to, and I'm going to tell a story on the coat of many colors at the very end of this video. to finish this piece as a kind of an adjunct story. But Joseph's brothers lied to Abraham. They told him that Joseph was killed, and they took his coat and they put blood of a sheep or something on it, and told Abraham said Joseph got killed, and he mourned greatly. And these brothers told this lie so many times that when he actually met him in Egypt, they were astonished. They couldn't believe he was alive because somehow they told the lie so much, so often, they came to believe their own lie, even though they knew it was a lie initially. They told it so much that many of them were, "Wow, you're alive? We thought you were killed." It was their lie. This happens when you say something enough and long enough. Sometimes it gets through and you begin to believe it. Maybe they wanted to believe it. Maybe they didn't want to believe the crime that they had perpetrated in selling their young brother off to a caravan, which was atrocious. That was an awful thing to do. However, uh, what happens when you get a people that's told the same story so long? This is the only media they get. Everything they hear is completely controlled there. That's the lovely thing about an authoritarian control state. Any one party system eventually evolves into something like this. For communism to survive, it can only survive if it has no competition as a one party system. That's one of the downfalls of communism, one of the many downfalls. It's also a downfall of any authoritative system, especially ones that controls the media. Of course, we don't have any media control here in the United States now, do we? No. Anyway, guys. Oh, yeah, by the way, my last live session was demonetized. So just keep in mind, this is how I get by on this channel is right now, this is my only income is when you guys help me out here. But anyway, so YouTube, that's my only gig at the moment. So, guys, take this home. The North Korean people believe the point that they're willing to live in abject poverty and support this state over there, the lies that's been told to them. But the leadership tells it so much and they get themselves so hyped up on it that for the most part, they believe it too. Now, Kim Jong-un is a special case, their leader. He has grown up being the prince of North Korea from the time he was a kid. He was fed by the system, and to him, in his mind, he's like a god. I mean, ego gets you, ego and pride. Well, he's got lots of it. He gets anything he wants. He has total command control of the system over there. Anything he wants is his within the realm of what's available in North Korea. The man is fat. The rest of his country is starving. You see what I'm talking about? The rest of the country, they tell you what kind of haircut you can have, what kind of clothes you can wear. Your haircut has to be approved by the government. I probably wouldn't go far over there. Anyway, so think about child stars, child TV stars, movie stars in America. Most of them were music people like, what was his name? Michael Jackson. When you grow up as a celebrity, your worldview is extremely skewed. Your whole perception of the world around you is extremely skewed. When you grow up to be the leader of a country with the kind of power he has, where power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, he has absolute power within his country. And he's got the backing of one of the top military powerhouses in the world, China. So his ego is through the roof. His dad was a big fan of cartoons. And in a sense, he was a cartoon and lived in a cartoon world in his mind. And that's the man that brought up Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un has an extremely distorted worldview and a system that permits him and makes him like a god within the realm of his own people in the hermit kingdom. That is dangerous. Considering that the state of war is a ceasefire, an armistice between North and South Korea, it's still legally a war. They never have had a true resolution or peace to that war. We had a ceasefire. So bear these things in mind. This is a world, a situation that you don't want to give somebody with that kind of power, that kind of diluted sense of self-perception, perception of himself in the world, probably thinks he's got some grand holy mission or grand mission in life in history. And so that makes him way more dangerous than your average bear, if you know what I mean. Um, when you look at the way he is armed up, when you look at how they have prepared, they have in the Constitution of North Korea nuclear weapons. It's in their Constitution. And in fact, I think it's actually a first strike philosophy. So that is extreme. They do have a military first strike doctrine that makes North Korea exceedingly dangerous. Give somebody like that a bomb, a bunch of bombs, they're dangerous. When they have the ability to saturate your defenses, well, then that's why they're building so much. That's their goal. That's their objective. It's saturations to oversaturate our defenses. That's what I talk about within the naval warfare spectrum between the United States and China. Yeah, we've got all kind of defenses on our aircraft carrier groups. I've said that, and I've done videos where I actually went through all the missiles and a lot of this stuff, and I enumerated that. Showed you the systems that would be used. I've had people come back. Oh, but our aircraft carriers got our kind of defense. I covered that. I covered that in great detail. Okay, so don't tell me stuff. You're not watching my videos. You got to watch my videos where you come back at me with that kind of stuff. It's already covered. I got it. It's in my videos. You can see it. Watch it. How you overcome that is you saturate the enemy's systems by just having way more stuff to throw at them than they got to defend themselves with. And China has a big rocket force. In fact, that's one of the branches of their military. Like we got an Army and Navy, they got a rocket force. And now, when also believe they have a covert balloon force. So these things all fit together. Now, like I said, North Korea shelled off the shore of those Chinese islands. Excuse me, North Korea shelled right offshore of those South Korean islands up to 200. I think they claimed 192 artillery shells. These artillery shells were fired from mobile artillery and artillery tanks and things like that. So, which is mobile, a couple ways of saying mobile artillery. So, this is an escalation of the tensions there. South Korean leader now has declared, of course, that, hey, we'll shoot. Tells us people don't even ask permission. Shoot. Shoot first, escalate later. So that is telling you how tense things are between the two Koreas at the moment. We do have the United States a mutual defense treaty directly with South Korea. We've got a lot of U.S. servicemen at risk in South Korea. And South Korea may also target Japan. So the Japanese are in this too. And then we also have a defense treaty with Japan. We have a lot of forces there. We have forces, military forces at risk in this area. Now, China has been playing like, the kind of calm things down over there. They've asked the two Koreas, both of them, to restrain themselves, that may be code words for just hold off until we're ready to hit Taiwan. I think it's much in the interest of China for North Korea to take some action about the time they're ready to take action. They probably don't want it to happen too soon, but it could happen. It could happen. Things could break loose at any moment because there are some differences between North and South Korea. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is supposedly the year of great cooperation between North and Korea and China. They just, New Year's Day, Xi Jinping and the dear leader, Kim Jong-un, had a direct meeting, and they declared a new year of cooperation between their two governments. So that tells you a lot right there. That says a lot about what people over there may be planning. Thanks, everyone, for calling, for hitting the like button. We got 121 in the house. So, Ruth Hertz, good morning to you. Guys, I'll go through the chat session in more detail in just a little bit, but I do want to cover this situation because it's breaking. I'm going to show you a video just to give you the idea that it's in their culture to attack America. It's in their culture to attack South Korea, but their main enemy from their viewpoint is the United States. The United States. And Kim Jong-un had just recently came out, as I reported to you guys, and said North Korea would obliterate South Korea and the United States. And he also took off the table any talks of reunification. That is a peaceful reconciliation between the two Koreas into a unified system, because it's their plan all along to conquer South Korea if they can. And in their minds, they probably think they can. When you got yourself in the kind of system they're in, where your inputs are limited, freedom of speech is limited. And oh yeah, the dear leader, he hears what yes men tell him. Like the emperor has no clothes. So he may have a self-aggrandized, overestimated estimate of where he is and what they can actually do as North Korea via a military adventure. As somewhat did Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin honestly thought he could take Ukraine in 3 days. And hey, Michelle Young, you're glad I escaped Planet Houston. Salute to you. And yes, and as you can see, I'm back in Bama. Salute to you. Thank you for the super chat. With YouTube demonetizing these videos, that makes a big difference. So that's what makes live sessions worth doing. There's a lot of YouTubers won't do a live session, like Nate. He won't go live. My friend, the Popper Report, he won't go live because you lose ad revenue on live sessions, even if you're monetized. When they demonetize your videos, that's all there is. Except for affiliate marketing. Some YouTubers live on affiliate marketing. My affiliate marketing doesn't do much, but I still try to bring you guys opportunities to products. But anyway, guys, so yes, Michelle Young is a great sweetheart and a strong supporter of this channel, and I really appreciate that. So hello from rainy South Carolina. Yeah, we had all that rain in Houston that just come through here. It's raining here today. All right, so guys, I'm not going to go as long in this video because we started so late. I mean, I got to get up in the morning again, and I've been living on 4 hours a night sleep, and it kind of got to me. I didn't get coffee early enough this evening, so I was zombie for a couple of hours. We'll talk more about that in a moment. I'm going to share with you guys some a couple articles on this, not a lot, and I'll show you these islands in Google Earth. So let's do a screen share if we can here. Bing, 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 bing. La-di-da-di. Here we are. Bang. I got a lot more tabs open than what I'm going to show here at the moment. But yeah, I got to move. Dadgum. Zoom is fighting me for control of the tabs. So I got to shrink it down and move it just so I can access the tabs at the top of the screen. There we go, guys. Sorry for taking a little bit of time on that, but make it as big as I can. North Korea fires artillery at sea against South military gangsters, is what they call them. It's just part of the propaganda, and that's what you expect. It's propaganda. And here, now this article claims there was more than 200 North Korean artillery shells. North Korea claimed 192, but they said more than in this article. That reported out of Reuters was Seoul, South Korea. So, as you know, North Korea has millions of rounds, it's believed, of artillery they could fire into Seoul. It's thought Seoul would be leveled by artillery if they go into another full-blown war. Seoul Korea is just right up there against North Korea. Seoul could really take it hard without resort to nuclear weapons. So here we are. Here's the islands that were fired on. And this is why I can't. Maybe one of you guys can pronounce this stuff. I got to hear it first. And I don't watch TV. I don't watch any TV news. So I don't know what the correct pronunciation of this is. And I had time to watch everybody else's YouTube videos on this stuff. But yeah, so here it is. As we know, these waters are disputed as to who actually has what. But those islands are actually have South Korean citizens living on them. And as you may know, a few years ago, North Korea actually shelled these islands themselves. And North Korea has attacked South Korean boats, and also has in the past attacked a U.S. naval vessel and captured it. And they held some American sailors hostage a few years back, well, several years ago now. Well, North Korea has had a history of getting very aggressive. And this is there's 2,000 residents and troops stationed there on these islands. So they have people there. So this is to be taken seriously, guys. So let's see, find some quotes in here. Not in that article. let's see, we'll go to Newsleak. Newsleak talks about the tensions there. So this happened on Friday between 9 and 11 a.m. their time there, which is, been some time back now. Yeah, so this talks about deaths that occurred there past. I don't give the time when that happened. Don't. My understanding is there was no actual strikes on the island this time. So this article is incomplete, as you might think some journalists would do. So I saw some quotes here in an article earlier what Kim Jong-un was saying about this. But anyway, I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking for that stuff here. Don't come right out. Here we are. Here's the quotes. La-di-da-di. Let's skip up here. That's China. That's China's calls for restraint that I mentioned to you guys. Anyway, so China is supposedly called for restraints, but I think it's definitely in the interest of China before they hit Taiwan for North Korea to make a move. So this is why we're talking WW3. So guys, this is why you need to get ready and prep however you can. And one way is to go with prepwithgreg.com. You got to prepwithgreg.com. Right now we got a $60 off special on a 4-week supply of this emergency food. It lasts 25 years at over 2,000 calories a day, which is a lot more than what the other competitors offer. When they talk about how many days your rations are, they're usually talking 800 calories, which is starvation diet, guys. So this is a seriously good deal when you consider it in that context. They got like 16 different varieties, and they got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and some desserts and snacks and drinks mixed in with that. So it gives you a little variety. All right, here comes the video I'm going to show you. Now this is from another YouTube channel, and showing other channels is typically a copyright problem, but in this case it's not, because this is from all the video here comes from a government source, and no government content is actually, no government content is supposed to be copywritten. Now, you never know. YouTube has a funny way of throwing strikes out on that kind of stuff too, especially for his music. But this is North Korean music from a North Korean production, all government, so it should not be an issue. Who knows? Who knows what kind of hits that the platform will sling out? But this is basically a little opera they're having there, celebrating the idea of attacking America. Skip ahead a little bit. You don't want to hear all the music, but just give you an idea here. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'll just skip through it. Rock and roll, the singing, the brass band. And now you see the missile launch playing on the screen behind them, the artillery barrage. Oh, yeah, by the way, this video was sent to me by Cowgirl in Arizona. I'll give her credit. There's the missile launch. They're all clapping, dancing to this, singing to it. Explosions. And what are you going to see in the end is the American flag burning, graves. You see all those crosses? That's American graves. The crosses is what we put up for our graves, right? You see the crosses? That's the graves. That's the American flag. It tells you who their target is. It's us. See the flag burning? That is why you've got to take North Korea serious. This is why we got to prep. This is what you got to be concerned with. And it's not just the United States that would be the brunt of this attack. It would include probably some aspects in can, because we have forces there too, and this could spread. This would probably be used by China, probably, possibly, as a diversion, help them and enable them to either take the Philippines islands or take Philippine, claim the South China Sea more resolutely, and or go after Taiwan or all the above. Maybe even to launch more into grabbing areas in North India, which they want. So they may also make moves in several directions at once to kind of, just overpower us with everything going on in the world. So this is serious, guys. Just to show you our missile defense here, this is the ground-based mid-course defense system. This shows you the success and failures. There is about a 43% failure rate in these systems. So the best we could hope for is maybe 25 intercepts with this system. This is staged at Fort Greely primarily. Here they are putting one of these missiles in the silos at my old Army base, Fort Greely. Fort Greely, Alaska was my final base when I was in the U.S. military, at least when I was in the U.S. Army. I went in the National Guard, Alabama National Guard, for a couple of years after that. So I joined the Army for 3 years and extended 9 months. I spent 3 years and 9 months in the U.S. Army and 2 years in Alabama National Guard. So that's my military experience. And I don't know, in some ways I felt more like I was in the military and the National Guard than I did in the Army. So stop the share. Guys, this is serious. This is something that we've got to really take into account. I don't know, we're missing Calgary. Well, it's late. It's late. Yeah, we're missing a lot of people. Hopefully, they'll watch this in the morning. I got a present here from also. I'll open it when I do an earlier live session because Sassafras Red sent me a box, and I'll open it live in an earlier session, so he's got more chance of seeing it. And maybe he'll watch this later and know that upcoming live session I will be opening this box from him. This is more of a coffee time video for people that's going to wake up in the morning and watch this. So that's why I need to focus first on the news. We'll do a little bit of discussion of where I'm at and that kind of stuff here at the end. So if people don't want to watch that part, and drop off. If they're just in here for the news, that's the news. I was going to do a video series on what's going on the border. I'll make a separate video on that. It might be an upload, not a live session, probably. But I wanted to go live to you guys because I wanted to get this out to you fast. I couldn't do it earlier because I spent the day finishing unpacking the rental car. I mean, I had everything I had in that van in that rental car. The rental car was loaded to the gills, and my seat backwards all the way to the back glass was just full. I got it all in. It squeezed hard to get stuff in there. Everything had been in my van. Van is now emptied out. It's sitting in my daughter's house, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta see if I can find somebody that can put a used transmission in or something where the repair is going to be cheaper, or I may have to sell it for scrap. I can't leave it there. It's in a HOA neighborhood, so real nice, ritzy kind of neighborhood. I can't leave the van in my daughter's driveway for long, but I got to do something. But any nibbles on my property? Scooby Snacks, not yet, but I got to be here to clean this area out and put it up for sale. I can't survive making the payments that I got to make here. I just can't afford it. I don't have the money anymore. I don't have income. I have no income except for YouTube, right? I may file for Social Security. I got to figure out if I want to be doing something else in the meantime that might make a little bit more money than Social Security will allow. I don't know. Thinking that that's a strong prospect, but it takes about 5 to 6 months, sometimes 3 to 6 months to get anything from Social Security once you file. So it would be a very short. Yeah, I could be really in a bind, guys. So yeah, hit the thumbs up, people. If you don't like my content here, and that's why you're not giving me a thumbs up in your live right now, say so in the chat. Tell me what you don't like. Let's hear it. Give us some feedback. Every video I post, get somebody unsubscribing from it. Why is that? Why is that? You can tell me that in the chat here right now where you got me live. Yeah, we need to send Dennis Rodman. His dad liked Dennis Rodman. I don't know about Kim Jong Un so much, but his dad really liked Dennis Rodman. Maybe that would be our peace envoy to North Korea. But Dennis Rodman stroked their ego. That's why they got so big. North Korea as a country respects strong men. Any authoritarian system, that's all they respect is strength. If you're not talking from a position of strength, they're not hearing you. And that's why Trump, he referred to Kim Jong Un's rocket man, which I wish they hadn't called him that because I'm a rocket guy and nothing like that. I've done a lot of rocket work in my life, as you might see some evidence of. But got 95 likes, okay, but we got 153 in the room, guys. So help me out there. This platform has been stomping me lately. I see channels covering the same topics as me that only have 8,000 subs are getting as many views as I'm getting. In fact, when I was a smaller channel, I got more views than I get today. So something squirrely about that. I think it's called shadow banning. It seems to be the case. Also, some of these unsubscribes is done by the platform. Although there's probably some people that may do that on their own. I just like some feedback from people as to what they don't like and why they would want to unsubscribe. So because I bring you what's going on. I also bring you the perception aspect because I haven't heard other YouTubers talking about psychological drivers that drive people, despots and authoritarian people like Kim Jong Un. I've talked about that in the past. And I'm going to do some special videos with Jason Avers of Green Country Agroforestry talking about the corruption of power and governments in general. At least that's the plan right now. Because he and I have discussed that on one of my trips out to Arizona. It's just I couldn't without having all my resources. I can't really do the Zoom sessions right to do interview. I should be set up for that here any time now. I got to get my desktop internet service provider figured out what the problem is with them. I'll have to call them, and I probably will have to do that during a weekday. I don't know if I'll be able to get a hold of them tomorrow and get any. YouTube does unsubscribe people. A lot of people do get unsubscribed by YouTube, and YouTube don't give a lot of recommendations. Rocket Man has long dong missiles. Yes, it does. That's what they call them. So, anyway, you can come up with a lot of jokes based on what those guys do and say over there. But the gravity of all is that it's very serious what we face with North Korea. Oh, nothing ever happens. Nothing's going to happen. I get that from a lot of Normie Normans, as Nate likes to call them, and some other channels too. There's a lot of people trying to dispel what might happen over there. But what I tell you guys, I did a video called Rose-Colored Glasses. It wasn't glasses like this, but I talked about worldview in a video, and it was more, that video was more aimed toward trying to tell you guys how to communicate with people. Hey, New Days, come on up. My logger has Highland cattle. He wants to give me in the spring. Wow, he's clearing the area. That sounds great. Yes, sir. I grew up raising cattle. That's what we raised old Herefords when I was a kid. I actually owned cattle when I was a kid. So cattle is kind of in my blood. Love cattle. And it's one of the things I love about my property in Arizona is the lower 15 acres is perfect for raising cattle. Right now it's free range. There's actually cattle that moves through my property until I fence it off and where they can't come in. Yeah, MS 9021. That's what some until it does. Exactly. Nothing ever happens until it does. And then it does. Because these same people are saying, oh, Putin's not going to invade Ukraine. No, that's not going to happen. It did. What was this bug thing they shut over in the year 2020? No, that didn't happen, did it? No, we didn't find a bio lab in Reedy, California, did we? No. It was just there for peaceful investigations. A nasty lab with rats as vectors and all kind of diseases. How did they get a hold of the diseases they had at their disposal there? That shouldn't have happened. That stuff somehow got into our country. How many more labs are there like it? I warned you guys about sleeper cells. I was one of the first YouTubers talking about sleep. I didn't hear anybody on YouTube talk about sleeper cells when I started bringing that topic up on this channel. There's a lot of content I brought you before anyone else, and now everybody's talking about it. But you get some brand new channel come on and start talking about, they'll get more views than I will. So until they talk about it for a while, then maybe they'll get shadow banned too. So it's the game here. This platform, like I said, there's no control of information here in the United States. No, we have freedom of speech, don't we? Yeah. Anyway, guys, this is not a freedom of speech platform, by the way. I'm very limited on what I can talk about and how I can say it and how I can present. And I try to use code words and I try to tamp it down a lot. And I still get demonetized on a lot of my videos. Being on YouTube is like walking on thin ice in an earthquake wearing cleats when you got artillery shells falling in the lake or an earthquake going on. It is a big challenge. And especially when you're trying to bring news, because they got so many things that they can claim. Well, you talked about war, you talked about all these things are supposedly verboten at some level, but everybody talks about war. So I try to avoid the gore or talking about people getting paid, if you know what I mean. But still, they get you. There you go, Brian. We can thank the church committee for that. So we have some serious challenges, guys. Prepping is serious and needs to be taken seriously. What I just showed you about North Korea, Cowgirl in Arizona, when she sent it to me, she had the subtitle, "This is why we prep." That was good. I'll give her credit for that. Oh, yeah, by the way, her and her husband, Brian, had came out and helped me on 2 different occasions, all the way up from Tucson to help me out in the construction of my tiny home in Arizona. So I really appreciate all that. And one thing I know from you guys, I can almost credit YouTube for my house there because so many of my YouTube fellow friends and some neighbors in the area really pitched in to help me out. That's something you see that in smaller communities, not so much in the Huntsville area here has grown too much. This area is exploding in population. They're building apartments and I'm like 14 miles from Huntsville, and they're building a huge apartment complex just down the road a little bit. And they're building houses everywhere around there. They're springing up crazy. And businesses, every time I come home, after being gone a few weeks, it's like, where is this? What? Where am I at? It's changing so fast here. But that's one of the reasons I need to get out of here. Too many people. What I tell you guys, if you live in a big city, you want to get out. Being in Houston kind of had me nervous too. I did escape from Planet Houston. I've made it back to Bama. I had to use the rental car. I had to abandon my vehicle after spending a lot of money on it with a shyster, which I'm probably going to go into more detail on the product Papa's channel. I got some video I'm going to edit. Oh, Nurse Prepper had an accident. Uh-oh. All right, so now that I brought you the main news that I wanted to bring you for this video, there's a lot of other news that could be reported, but it's a lot of the same stuff. They're beating the devil out of each other between Ukraine and Russia. It's got more intense over there than it was. You've got the whole situation with Hezbollah, Houthis, out of Yemen, just escalating. All this stuff is going nuts worldwide right now. Worldwide. This is why when you look at the allegiances, the way they've lined them up with Iran, with all these systems and countries in China, you can see that this is a worldwide conflagration. The whole BRICS thing, it's all about taking down the U.S. dollar, taking down our premier state in the world. It's about bringing the United States to its knees. That's what BRICS is all about. It's economic warfare. It is warfare. So we got warfare going on right now. It's economic, it's military, it's intelligence, not the smart intelligence, like military intelligence, that's stealing of information and all these things. Persuasion, We've got, China has bought into a lot of American companies and media companies to try to control the narrative over here. They've got into our school systems. We have a lot of professors here in the United States who are either on the dole from or highly influenced by the thinking that comes out of there. A lot of them are already on that side of the spectrum, if you know what I mean. Uh, so, challenges to us here today, and this is all Western countries, not just America. This is every Western country. I got a lot of followers here in Australia. Australia is a huge country with very few people, and it's got to make China lick their lips with envy and greed. And, yeah, one of these days we can take Australia. This is why we've come up with the Ox Pact between Australia, United States, and Great Britain to try to help maintain freedom in Australia. So New Zealand would fall into this too. New Zealand had been on the left side of the political spectrum a lot lately, although they have flipped back and forth some. So it's the world has gotten very, very dangerous, and more so in just the last few years. It seems to be escalating. It's not linear. It's going fast, and this is why you can expect this may be. We've had war going on, kinetic war, hot war, since 2020, 2022, excuse me. And I would, so we're now into our second year of that, and it's just spreading. We keep new shoes dropping. October 7th, with what Hamas did was intended. That whole action was done to cause Israel to be provoked, and in such a way that the world would turn on Israel. That has worked, and to a large degree, the world has turned on Israel as a result of them doing pretty much what almost have to do. But I say, how can you win when the whole strategy of the other side was to get you to attack them anyway? And the more we attack them, the more their original purpose is served. I say we, Israel. We're not attacking Israel is, but we have been pulled into this by in there. Also, well, the Houthis, what the actions they're taking, and yeah, they've just attacked an American warship, so they've crossed all the red lines. That whole situation there can just be expected to escalate. There's nothing right now in the offer that I see that's offering something that would seriously de-escalate tensions in any of these theaters. It's going toward the foot on the gas pedal, toward an acceleration of more tension and more war. And so this year, especially the elections coming up on the 13th, which is just days away, guys, in Taiwan. This year's going to be a huge election year worldwide. All kind of things can break loose. All right, now I've said enough of that. I've covered the basic elements of the news here in the first 43 minutes. I'm going to spend a little time looking at your chats and explaining what's going on with me here, because I know a lot of you people want to know. And if somebody don't want to know that, then you've got the news. So you've watched to this point, so I appreciate that. I want to thank everybody who's watched to this point, all the coffee club people that get up at 5 a.m., start watching my videos then. And there's a fair number of people that do that. And in fact, for a while, I was posting this just for that alone. I'll be doing that again now that I'm back in Bama and I got more resources here. And my goal is to be set up in Arizona really soon with Starlink. And once I get into the little house there, I'm going to have a studio just like this in that house. About a quarter of that house is going to be my YouTube studio study area. So that's how important that is to me. All right, guys. So let's see what people are saying. Let's look through the chat room. Arnold Smith, one is his checking number, means he gave me the first like. Thank you, Arnold. All right. And Rodney Middleton is in the house. He's a great expert knife smith. And I got some of his handiworks with me here down here somewhere. Show you some of what he's done. And I'm going to figure out a way. He thought maybe I could to transfer some of these beautiful things to you guys. This is the first one he gave me. This is the one I'm going to keep. But I'm going to figure out some way give away one or two of these to some of you guys. Maybe I can't really run a raffle without getting into trouble with some of the authorities. Now, he makes these beautiful sheaths. These leather sheaths are very serious. Knives themselves have a thick blade on them. This is high quality steel. It's great workmanship. Beautiful, beautiful knives here. So I'm actually going to give some of these, a couple of these away probably to you guys. I just got to figure out how best to do it. Maybe as a surprise gift for some super chat or something. But I got to have your address and all that when we do that. But these are beautiful, beautiful knives here, guys. So or I might do it as a return for I don't know, I might hold a drawing based on people that give if they watch all the videos. So I don't know if I can manage that. It takes a lot of time. What's that channel? Uh, oh shoot, I'm getting brain locked. There's a channel where they an off grid prepping channel for Doug and Stacy. Yeah, they give away Ford trucks. They give away Ford trucks. But they got like 400,000 subscribers, and they get so many views that it's actually paying for them and just viewership to do that kind of thing. Uh, so that if you want to get enough views, you can make a pretty good living off YouTube. I'm nowhere close to that. I'm not even in a league like that. I'm not even in a league where I can make I can't make a living off YouTube, not yet. But anyway, so to give you an idea, I would like to be able to return some of the love to you guys because you guys have shared a lot of love with me. So I'll figure out some ways to do that as we go forward, guys. 10 by 10 says umbrella core on audio. So I'm glad you guys can hear me. I don't know what happened that day that nobody could hear me. That was odd. All right, so Judy's in the house. Fleckin Country Homestead, RC, Christopher Napier. All right, Jacob. Cannon's called, however you say, I don't know how you pronounce that. Mr. Green Jeans. All right, RC. I like the first thing when coming in. Very good, thank you. The war is here, not in Korea. There will be war here. That's the part of the problem. And that's one of the things that I warn you guys about, especially when I talk about I got my small laptop here. This was my original Lenovo, but it's got a lot of issues with it, so it's not a good computer to use for regular work. But it does let me keep up with the chat. My other laptop is usually one I monitor chat on when my desktop is operating and got access to internet, which it don't at the moment. So more like Fat Man, yeah. That's Kim Jong Un, Fat Man. Yeah, our first nuclear bomb was also called Fat Man. Let's see, Cheryl's Country 11, Kilo 3057 specifically, waking up to SEAL Team 6 in his bedroom. That could be. That could be. South Korea has been running decapitation exercises because it's thought if you just take out Kim Jong Un, take the head of the snake, that the empire will fall, and it might. The the North Korean people could dearly use some liberation right now. So, and what I just said puts this video at risk on the platform. So I don't know. Problem is you don't know why they demonetize something. And when you test it and lose, then they hit your channel even harder. But it don't even make sense to contest it when it takes them up to 7 days to rule on it. By then, as a news channel, any content you're putting out is old news and nobody's watching it. So it's like, yeah, what good is that? To fight the platform in that regard. It's kind of useless. Now, if you were doing videos on how to tie your shoes or how to feed bunny rabbits, and something that people would be watching for months and years down the road, yeah, that's maybe a value to get that demonetized because people will be watching it for a long time. 5 key things raising worms, for example. That is my one video that keeps people watching, has been for years. But what would they demonetize on 5 key things about raising worms? Uh, it's definitely a low risk type video in that regard. but it does have a lot of people watching it. So a video like that, it's worthwhile if they demonetize you to contest it. The news is not, frankly. You run a lot of risk. So I did click the demonetize one that did the other day. It's like, why do they do? I didn't say anything. What did I say? What would be nice, but they will give you some broad sweeping. Oh, you talked about blah blah, and you don't have a clue as to what you said that caused them to do that. Not really. So it's hocus pocus. I can't tell. I mean, really, what they ought to do is give you a time marker and then say what it was. Then you go, oh, okay. So they leave you guessing, and it leaves us dancing here as creators as to how to deal with it. And that's very frustrating. I mean, all anybody's talking about news these days is war. Supposedly, that is against the platform, the rules, but it's not. They don't do that. It's not just talking war. It's something you say about it that causes things to get triggered. I don't know, guys. You tell me. I'm just guessing. I have to guess, and I guess wrong too often, and so they hit you. I mean, plenty of videos go out and get monetized talking more, and they will sometimes run ads even against you when they demonetize your video, or they give you limited monetization. So they might let you make a little bit because there might be some advertisers, one of them that are friendly with this stuff. I don't know, guys. That's all. It's hocus pocus. You can't really tell what to think. They did one of my videos they demonetized. They run a ton of ads against, but I didn't see much in the way of ad revenue on that video. It's like, what is this? I don't know, guys. It's really strange stuff. Hey, Nora, we got Norway in the house. Trillionaire. Good to see a trillionaire in here. All right. Lloyd Austin is in the hospital. Oh, it's yeah, who knows? That could be. Let's keep it clean, guys. Lordy, Lordy, let's keep it clean. And we are a family channel. Anyway, so did Trump to a certain degree. So Trump, though, I didn't finish that. He first called him Rocket Man, and he first said, "Hey, my red button's bigger than yours," and he just basically threatened Kim Jong Un. Say, "Look, dude, cut it out, or I'm going to get you." And after that, they were able to meet and talk, and some people think that suddenly Trump got very kind and enabled North Korea. And that really wasn't the case. He threatened them first. He came to him from a position of strength. And the North Korean leader, Kim Jong Un, he stroked his ego when he met with Trump so much that when one of his own officers criticized Trump, he had him terminated. I'll be careful what I say on here. Hope that's not too much language. Anyway, so escape the overture. If I had any extra, I'd send it your way, Greg. Sorry, that's okay. Thank you, escape the overture. I will thank you for watching. What I could use from you guys is please share my videos. Please share them. Keeping nerves prepping. Here it is. Sorry, I haven't been in much. Haven't been in much. Fell and broke your arm a week ago. Please help me with your prayers. I've been trying to hear BCS, but not able to type much. Okay. Sorry to hear that. Keeping nurse prepper breaking an arm is rough business because, yeah, it does disable you quite a bit. I broke my left arm twice in my life. So I know what it's like to break an arm, literally. Greg, they have been nuking a lot of accounts. Yeah, I got to worry about that. I got to worry about them taking my account down completely, especially when they start to monetize this stuff. Your risk, your existence on those platforms at risk, and that would be a huge problem for me because right now this is my only source of revenue. So I've got to be very careful how I proceed here. It's how you deal with these ridiculous fanboy bullies in the world. There you go. Yeah, you've got to. Yeah, Trump understood that because Trump is a strong guy. He's kind of got that mentality. Trump knows how to deal with people like that. If you're an appeaser, you're going to lose because they don't respect appeasement. They will talk to you, take advantage of whatever you want to offer, and still hit you between the eyes because they don't respect you. And look how the world has gone to heck in a handbasket because we have an appeaser in chief, if you know what I mean. No, not me, says on, not you. What? Anyway, so payment pay EMT, excuse me, F9 FF9 Trump compared rockets and yeah, Meat Puppet Joe compared ice cream cones. Yeah, you should see my videos on Silverhead News. I did about him some of the Sniffy Joe warranted little shorts I put up there. I got to do some more shorts. Hopefully, I'll start making more content here real soon and cover and put them on different channels that I've got and do more on this channel too. That's my hope here in the next few days, weeks until I head back to Arizona. And I might have to switch it down a little bit again until I get my studio out there set up like I got it here. And then hopefully I can start really bringing a lot of content to you guys. That's what I need to do if I'm allowed to exist on this platform. Now, I got to wonder. So, this is my main channel. This is my main identity. Everything I do through YouTube goes through this channel. So, if I take this channel down, my other channel's going down. I've seen guys uh, Oppenheimer. They've shut him down for him. They're not taking him off air. Diamond. But he's got another channel. So I think they'll take one channel down. They let the other one continue for a while. They didn't take them down. They like suspended him for like so many weeks. They got some other things they do sometimes. But sometimes they don't give you any warning. They'll just pull you off. Poof, you're gone. That's happened to a lot of channels. And some of them have been big channels that had lots of there was one channel in particular that was just growing like crazy. They went from nothing to like a million, and there 2 or 3 million subs. That is these two guys up in New York, and they were conservative, and they were booming, but they got taken off air completely. And what was the name of that channel? It was I don't know. They got really popular. I think even Rex it was interviewed with Leak Project on their channel. Maybe they went on Rex's channel, but they were huge, huge. And they had to be a big revenue source for YouTube. So YouTube will judge politics over revenue any day. So it's not just about money. With YouTube, it's not. It's you got to fit the politics. So thank you for sharing my channels there, New Days. Trump grew up in corrupt regions of New York, and he knew who's dirty and played the game to win. Well, that's part of his deal is the art of the deal. He wrote that book a couple decades ago, The Art of the Deal, about how to negotiate, and you do it from a standpoint of strength. And that's how you got to approach everything. But right now, we're not high in the regards of strength compared to where we ought to be. So X22 report. Oh yeah, they got taken off. Red Pill 77. X22 is still on Rumble. That used to be one of my favorite YouTube channels. I've actually subscribed to them through Rumble, but I've not been watching Rumble much lately. But X22 report, it was of great interest. I think the channel I'm thinking about is called something The Far Side, or what was it called? It was oh sure, I can't remember the name of it now. But it was a really good channel. So all right, so Cuban nurse preppers broken an arm, and so we might say a prayer. Jason Smith said Trump almost had a new ICBM to replace the Minuteman system, couldn't get it done in time. They are developing a new ICBM though. It's just been slow in coming. But we're not putting a lot of warheads on our ICBMs. We went from having MERV down to one, and now maybe we're going to go back up to 3 warheads per ICBM. We have scaled things back, but we can't just base our whole forces anymore just on Russia, because now we're facing Russia, North Korea, China, and maybe soon Iran too. So all these, we have to factor all of that in. As you might remember, the late great Dr. Peter Vincent Pry talked about how we could be taken out in the first strike easily, how they could wipe us out and obliterate us between EMPs and the first strike, and why we were at risk, why we need to build our arsenal back up in the world of nuclear warheads, just so it would be a deterrent against somebody else wanting to attack us. Well, we also need to diversify. And that has been echoed in the interviews I've had with David Pine, who's been on my channel as a guest several times. He got picked up by Nate over at Canadian Prepper. Nate does watch this channel. He's commented to some of my stuff in the past. And he's, I've been interviewed on his channel, but he also picked up Dr. Pry and David Pine after seeing him on my channel. And that's good because he's got a bigger platform and got their viewpoints, what they've been trying to say to a broader audience. I appreciate Nate for that. Nate's been a good ally in that area because he does bring a lot of that stuff. I'll try to get some more interviews going here. I'm back in Bama and I will do them once I get set up similarly in Arizona. Who really controls Alphabet Inc? That's a good question, Jacob. That's a good question, but we know it has a certain lean in the political spectrum, like sweeping some things under the rug and going after others. I don't know if I can really talk that. Maybe that's more of a conversation for Swivelhead News, and I got to get back on that platform and do more content there. And also Galactic Gregs. We got to put more stuff. There's tons of space news that could be covered. It's every day that there's something going on with space, lots of stuff. So Galactic Gregs may get ramped back up. I've just been incredibly busy trying to do a day job, trying to get my place established in Arizona, and that should speak volumes to you guys about the need for prepping. The best thing you can do as a prepper is to bug in, but you need a good place to bug into. So if you can live in your bug out location, you're way ahead of the game, way ahead of the game. And that's why I'm putting one of the reasons, there's several reasons, but that's one of the main drivers for what's going on in Arizona right now. So I'm putting it, I am walking the walk. I'm walking the talk. I don't just come on here and say stuff. I try to do it. I was a prepper long before I did a YouTube. And when I started this channel, this didn't start out to be a prepping channel. This was going to be an urban gardening kind of a channel, worm farming urban gardening channel. And a couple of my subscribers had seen me over on Leak Project, because my first appearances on Leak Project was to promote power grid defense conferences I was running. You see that's the podium plaque, that big red thing behind me, the power grid defense conference. I ran 2 here in Huntsville, Alabama, because I was concerned about the state of our power grid, so much so that I took action and set up 2 conferences to try to promote defense of the power grid. I've also am a member of 2 of the nationwide power grid defense committees, which I've not been active enough in lately. I got to get back in the saddle there. I get a lot of my news directly from those guys, and I've got a good network there that's plugged into what's happening. So I don't get all my news from the news, as some people fear, because I show articles. Even when I get it from those guys, it's not, they tell you stuff, but to bring it to you guys, it helps to have an article to back it up. If you can find one, I don't always find one, but like I was talking about this deal from early on my channel, threat made by the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, who, when told from the report from Nuke that the United States, that's the National Electric Reliability Corporation, that the United States grid could be totally obliterated by taking out 9 key substations. When that was made public, when he saw that, about when some of these guys brought that to him, he says, "Man, I already got 20 targeted with sleeper cells in the United States." And some people would come out and tell us there's no sleeper cells here after they told us they have sleeper cells here. After he said it, people came out, "Oh, there's no sleeper cells." I showed you an article not too long ago that somebody wrote to that effect in one of the major news racks. So I've been bringing this stuff to you from way back. I continue bringing stuff, these kind of things. So I hope that, and I brought you my content on the balloon threat was original from this channel. I had that before anybody did. I went in and spelled out what the real threat was, like nobody else has done. Why? Because I know about launching rockets and balloons. That's what I did. That's what I was doing 23 years ago. That was something I was from balloons launched from ships at sea. I'd been there, done that. And that's part of where I got this here Space Pioneer Award. So, guys, and my laptop is sitting on a rocket motor right here, like the rockets that we used, which was the daddy of the rocket that was used to power the plane, Spaceship One, which hangs in the Smithsonian Museum. My guys worked developing that motor, the guys that worked for me developing the stuff that got me this thing. And then that today is powering Spaceship Two, which has been used by Virgin Galactic. So that's right, Cider Spread. So I bring you original content. I also bring you stuff I do see from the news from time to time, but I bring it to you with the spin that I have on my lifelong pursuit of keeping up with what's going on in the world, in the specter of military threats and things like that. It's been a lifelong interest in me. When I was a kid in high school, like ninth grade, maybe even eighth grade, I joined the military book club. And before that, I was in the Civil War book club, and I was getting books on this stuff, guys. I got the patent papers, books on strategy and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I was reading as a kid. So, believe you me, I have had a long interest in these areas. So this is not just something that come up. Glad you made it out of Planet Houston. Yes, I did escape. I couldn't stay there. I couldn't afford it. Rental cars and hotel rooms were killing me, and I was getting nowhere. I was getting, I don't know, nowhere fast. People. I had a guy that was going to fix my thing, and suddenly he just never didn't show. He wasn't talking to me for some reason. I don't know what happened with him. So I'm trying to bring you the content, but I'm bringing it to you through what I know and how I see things, and hopefully it makes a spin. I'm not just sitting here parroting stuff. I'm giving you my edits. Now, who talks to you about worldview? Who talks to you about what the state of the mind is of these guys who might attack, why that drives them where they're going? I've been talking that kind of content since the inception of this channel too. Like I said, once I was discovered, I've done a couple of power grid defense conferences. Somebody wanted me to cover that in this channel. And when I did that, suddenly a bunch of preppers joined this channel, and they didn't want to see the gardening videos. I was doing a microgreen grow series, and they hated it so much so that it was costing me subs, and there was lots of complaints. So I had a whole series of microgreen grow day by day grow by for I think sunflower shoots. I did a pea shoot series, but I never posted those videos just because the other ones they were attacking so much they didn't want to see that content. So this channel evolved into a prepping channel. I started talking more about how purified and sanitized water, wild edibles, which is another one of my long term. When I was in ninth grade, I had all the books that Yul Givens had wrote, Stalking the Wild Asparagus and such. So I've had a long time interest, and I grew up with people saying, you can eat this plant, this is used for this, that's used for that. So this has been a long time interest of mine too. But what people really wanted to hear was not any of that either. They just want to hear the news, what's really happening in the world. Everybody's concerned. I get that, and that's what I'm mainly bringing you. But I do want you to watch the ways to purify and sanitize water video. You need to watch the nuclear survival videos because I go in and explain radiation in great detail. Garden videos, you need to know that kind of stuff because you're going to have to grow your own food, guys. So I highly encourage you to learn how to grow your own food without having to go to the store and buy stuff. That's why I spent so much time in the preamble of those videos talking about how to prep the beds. Most people watch a garden video, they just want to know how to put seed in the ground. They don't want to know the bed prep stuff. They find that boring. That is the most important thing in that video. It's not plants in the ground or put seeds in the ground. The bed prep is the key. It is the single most important thing to know if you want to grow. Do so into the store you don't want to go. And I'm a poet. Yes, and I actually record some poetry, and you'll see that and Swivelhead News on those shorts. I got a couple shorts on this channel, which I've waxed poetic, like my microgreen drought. So check those out. Um, let's see, to get a backup channel. Well, I do have some backup channels, but I don't know if they take his channel down, if they take those down too, because they only allow you to have one ID Google for YouTube. So I don't know what they would do taking stuff down. I don't know how far it would reach. I'm thinking about, I thought about just going back and doing a channel and just gardening, homesteading only. Clean. My friend Steve Poplar, who's got the Poplar Report, he watched my channel. He ordered worms from me and things like that long before he ever started his YouTube. And his YouTube channel is not that old, but he's wildly successful on YouTube. But he really watches what he puts out. Now he's a devout Christian, and he'll talk to you about that. So that's probably the riskiest thing he puts on YouTube. He will tell you a little bit about what's going on with the wars and the economic sphere, but his main focus is what's on the store shelves and grocery stores, and how there's so much shortages out there, and how they hide it, disguise it, and stuff like that. And that's pretty safe content on the form here. It's valid news. It's good stuff. He's got a great channel. I like Steve Poplar. He's gave me some really good advice. So I find Steve Poplar to be very valuable. I highly recommend his channel. So this is a shout out. If you hadn't seen the Poplar Report, go watch it. He's a good guy. But he don't step out as far to thin ice as I do. And I don't blame him. He's making a living off YouTube. He's a full-time YouTuber. He does bring you content. But he tries, what we try to do on here, create one AdSense account. They only give you one. You can only have one account with them for that. And that's where, it can bite you, this platform. I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how far they would reach if they took down Green Greg's, because Green Greg's, that's where that account is set up through. Would it affect my other accounts? I don't know. I mean, I got Serenity Soothing Sounds. There's no content on there that they could possibly object to, because it's all original. It's all recordings that I made myself. There are sound channels where they take snippets of other recordings and put them together. YouTube don't like that. There's a lot of channels out there tell you how to make money on YouTube by doing things that the platform tells you they don't like. And a lot of those are shyster content type videos anyway. They're just out there to give you an idea. You can make a lot of money doing stuff that ain't going to work. So Steve isn't too far from me. Yeah, he's in Pennsylvania. Overall, quite decent videos. Yeah, they're very decent. He's a good guy. And his videos will always be decent because he's a devout Christian. And so he's a good man. He's he's a really good man. So I got no complaints about Steve Poplar. Like I said, I highly recommend. He's a good guy, and all of his content is good content. It's valid content. It is news. It's newsworthy, and so I'm not in no way integrating him in any shape, form, or fashion. I admire him and will hold him up because he's got a good channel. He puts out good content. But he's not going to walk as far on thin ice probably as I do. He does get out on it some, though. He does get out on it some. Clip channels. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of that. I remember Frontiers Prepper, an Alaska and Cuban guy, got shut down, and he has a different channel now. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to come back. If you create a whole new channel after you get shut down from AdSense, I don't know, guys, how that works, or if they would implement it. Some creators find ways back. Some yeah, Mike from around the world. Does he have his own channel? He always shows up on Paul Begley's show. You see him on Paul Begley a lot. I don't know. The Pop Report is awesome. I totally agree about Holiday. He is awesome. He does watch his channel too, by the way, and he is totally awesome. And I need to get him back on for another interview. He don't interview other people. His format is he tries to get up 2 videos a day. And he's the one that gave me the idea of doing a breakfast morning content. So he's been very valuable to me. So I learned a lot from Steve Poplar, and it's helped me some on this platform. And I need to apply those lessons more. And that will probably take me a long way. So he's a valuable resource, guys. Smart guy, very very smart. He's an accountant, so he brings you the financial aspect. That's from his background. So that is all valid, good stuff. Um, Mr. Greg, you would you be interested in some remote part-time stuff out 42 feet? What is 4250? So maybe what do you got there? So Mr. Green Jeans is at Marshall. Maybe. Uh, so talk to me. You got my email, greg@greengregs.com. Guys, this is my business email. So don't just email me here to chat and bring up stuff because I can't be flooded on this email. This is a business email, but I'm going to put it in the chat notes here. But please be very judicious. A lot of people just want to talk to me. You want to send me a lot of stuff. I get emailed every day. Well, you got to watch this video. You have to watch this video. Then they'll come back. Did you watch this video? You got to watch this video. I get it all day, every day. And it's about 40, 50 hours worth of contents every 24-hour day. Guys, I can't. I'm exceedingly busy. I only get 4 hours a night sleep, guys. So I ain't going to be able to watch everything. So pardon me for that. You'll email. Do you have my email already? You can go to my YouTube. You can go to my channel website and find my email. In fact, I'll just put that in green. I'm going to put that in here. My email is listed at greengregs.com. You'll find my email. You'll also find my desk phone on that, but don't ring out loud. It don't work that way, and I don't have an answer machine connected to it right now. So that is kind of not a good way to try to reach me anymore. My cell phone is the best way, and I'm not putting that on the internet because it's already got too much coming to it. And just all the notifications, I even turned my notifications off. So if you email me, if you try to text message me on my phone, and then wonder why I don't respond, if I had the sound for notifications turned up, my phone would sound like a machine gun. Get that much content. Some people wonder why Rex don't respond to them. Oh, I've been trying to contact Rex. You get so much coming at you, you cannot personally process it. And I got a couple of people that sent me an email saying, "Well, you don't respond. What's wrong with you?" I can't respond to everything. I get so much coming at me from so many people. I don't have. There's not enough months in the day. There's not enough weeks in a minute for me to respond to everything, guys. I love to. It's just, Mr. Green Jeans, tell me, okay, what would be do you want to tell me what's your name and your email? I'll try to keep an eye out for that. So, okay, very good. Now, sorry, guys, for coming on so late, but this is how I live, guys. I'm so darn busy. It takes a while to get together the content, bring it to you guys. So this is going to be more of a coffee club. That's what I call the Morning Watchers Coffee Club. And I got that idea from Steve Popular. Steve Popular. Like I said, popular. Yeah, he is popular. Steve Popular, like the tree. Yeah, he's solid like a tree. He is solid. So, like I said, I've learned some very important things from Steve Popular. And he learned important things by watching people like me before he started his YouTube channel, walk on thin ice. He learned some of the places not to go, which was smart. Greengregs.com. Yeah. So, oh, I misspelled it. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't type, guys. That's another one of my problems. Again, yeah, Arnold got it right. The S, not an E. Yeah, a lot of people want me to text them. Yeah, that's difficult for me to text. Texting is hard for me to do. It really is, because I can't type with the dog and I'm slow, especially if it's on the phone. I hit for every key you see in the text message, I probably hit 5 or 6 others to try to hit it, but my fingers are fat. And the keys on the phone are small, and I'm not really doing text, voice to text. So it's exceedingly difficult for me to text. All right, guys. So yes, Jason, thank you. The way to help me is to like my videos and share them. especially share because we need to get this content out. And the more you share it, the more it helps me. So put it in your, just hit the share button. There's a share button on every video. But you can also just copy the URL and post it on your Facebook account, whatever social media you're using. Email it to friends and buddies. Text it to friends and buddies. Hey guys, watch this. People send me videos all the time. So some of my videos and send them to other people. Say, watch this channel. Watch this, guys. That's the best way y'all can help me right there. People are saying was AI. Hmm. There is a lot of AI out there. And you know what you got to worry about is some of the deep fake stuff will be coming up with. They will probably start trying to attack everybody that's not on the far left side of the spectrum. Then they'll go after the big guys first, like Tucker Carlson and big YouTube channels. And just, I'm expecting they're going to try to create stuff just to try to tarnish the reputations of people. There'll be fake videos, and who knows what they're going to be able to do with AI right now. They will start attacking people, and as they get it broader and broader, and get more people, and get their Chinese 50-cent army of hackers involved in it, and AI, they'll go down to smaller and smaller channels. They'll start attacking everybody, probably. Who knows? Mock them around the world. Okay, that's what LFATW is. Okay. I was saying he was AI. No, he's not AI. I don't know what to think about Mock them around the world, but he's definitely not AI. So council of time. All right. Ginger, good night. Ginger Jackson. All right. So yeah, what I was saying about escape from Planet Houston, that was not meant to attack Texas, but I just had a tough time getting out. And it's if y'all have ever seen Escape from New York or Escape from LA, I tried to get out of the town a few times and didn't make it. I couldn't escape. So I was like, geez, how'd I get out of here? So yeah, that was a big challenge for me. Big challenge, but I had to get out. I made it back here. It took me too long. It cost me too much money. So and I don't have more money coming in. So I couldn't really afford that situation. Um, so I had to use on YouTube. Funny videos so far. Yeah, I got some funny videos. I tried to do humorous shorts. And then I put out some content on there, just some regular videos that are funny stuff. I go a little bit more on the thin ice on that channel than I do this channel. And I will do more political oriented videos on that channel. At one time, I was thinking I was going to put all my prepper content over there and turn this channel back into a garden. And in terms of platform survivability, that would probably be the smartest thing I could do, because this is the key channel through AdSense. If I see a lot of trouble coming up on this platform, I might do it. Problem is, they'll shut you down instantly sometimes, and you don't know why. So that's the risk I take. I'd love to buy a small parcel of land and build a tiny home. Kilo, you might find some good values out in Arizona in terms of land prices, although they're going up fast out there. What I bought today, if you tried to buy the same thing, it would cost you 3 or 4 times what I paid for it in a span of just 3 years. It's gone up a lot out there. So I doubt if you'll find a deal like I did. I just lucked out because of some of my friends from out there who had seen me on Rex's channel and on YouTube. But yeah, my first YouTube appearance on Rex was on Rex's channel talking about power grid defense. I've been back on Rex's channel many times since talking about many other topics far afield from that, including topics that are too far out for this channel. So, old engineer better with slide rule than a keyboard. There you go. So we got to drop off and go take care of inner space. All righty, Mr. Green Jeans. I know it's late there. It's late. It was 4 a.m. Wow, I gotta get up tomorrow and work on vehicles. So I don't have a running vehicle right now. Not reliable running vehicle at all. I got some vehicles here. I got my Betsy Blue running today. When she sits for a long time, you have to really prime it. But I discovered I got a bearing and one of the pulleys or something in front that's making a lot of racket. It's chattering. I don't know which one it is yet. Vanna White, she's got either a battery or an alternator issue or something going on with Vanna White. I've got to figure out what's going on with that. We managed to crank it, but you can't re-crank it. But that's all tonight. So, guys, it's been a challenge for me. I've got a lot of things to juggle. It's like I got a situation on my internet I got to work out. I got a month back. I got a stack of mail that's this tall for the whole month. I got to go through and process that, bills and things like that. When I was throwing everything out of the van, I had this whole place cluttered up. I had to clean this up a little bit for the video. So I got a lot to do, and I got to clean this place up, sell it. If you're a homesteader and you like an urban homestead in a place where there's probably a lot of job opportunities, let me know. And Mr. Green Jeans, I really got to consider if it's going to be ongoing enough for me to engage with it and help me avoid retiring Social Security. If I go on Social Security, they got, if you go on Social Security before your full retirement age, they got a real cap. And it's not much that you can make without them penalizing your Social Security. So if I can get enough coming in, it wouldn't make sense to file for Social Security. But if it's real puny, it might not be worth it. I got to really think of that. And this is something that's near to me there. Southern border Arizona and your Army base. What base are you near Kilo? My brother spent a lot of time at Fort Huachuca, as did a nephew of mine. So he spent a little time there. My older brother, the one that passed away in early 2020, did a video on that too because he got the bug. He loved Arizona. He just was really in love with the state uh, long before I went up there. Close to Tombstone. Okay. So okay, very good. Anyway, guys, so that's really the content I have for tonight. It's 4 a.m. I think we Fort Huachuca. Yeah. That's where my brother was. Uh, he loved that place. So, my friends, I got to say, I'm gonna have to go right now. Everybody, do pray for how much do I want for this place? I'm gonna have to ask something like just north of 200,000. Uh, anyway, we can work that out. I'm gonna sell it as is. If this place were cleaned up and everything put in perfect order, it would easily bring 280,000. Yeah, they do a lot of electronics at Fort Huachuca. That's what my brother was. He was into electronics big time. That's what he did. Anyway, so he definitely was into big time into electronics. And later he became a DOD civilian for a while working at Fort McClellan. But they shut that base down, so he lost that job. He was working future combat system, helping develop the future combat system stuff back in the time. So, all right, Doc Holliday, thank you. Or I guess you're a Marine, Kilo. So simplify probably is what I should be saying since I was in the Army, but I respect it quite a bit. Got a lot of good Marine friends, including one of my neighbors who's done a lot for me. Talked with Curtis off grid. He has property evaluation business. Yeah, I've actually interviewed him once on this channel. And I am so, but I think some of you guys might want that for what you're doing. I don't need that service myself. So I, yeah, he's definitely went from being a urban farmer to a full-time off-grid homesteader, and that's where I'm trying to go. He saw what was coming. Well, he started out as a liberal. He was a musician, and when he started his own business, when he first started, he was on the left side of the spectrum. But as he got into business and seeing how the world really operates, he shifted quite a bit. It's amazing what actually doing a business will do for you. Brian, you sell soon. Thank you, Cuban Nurse Prep. I have to sell soon or I'm going bankrupt. I don't want to go bankrupt because then I'll lose everything except one property and one vehicle. So, and then I won't be able to use credit cards, which means what I can do on the internet will suddenly be shoot down to nothing, which means Freedom Restoration Foundation.org would be at risk, as greengraves.com would be at risk. So problem these days, you got to have a credit card to do just about anything. You can't even rent equipment from Home Depot without a credit card. You know, a lot of hotels, you can't even stay in them without putting a credit card. Except some of the dive places where the bed bugs will eat you alive, maybe. So yeah, you're limited quite a bit in what you can do. I'm hoping to set up a YouTube, a t-shirt store, because I got a lot of concepts for t-shirts. People are asking me about apparel and stuff like that a lot. So I'm thinking about doing that. But I got to get some other things cleared out before I try to launch any venture with that. So, Mr. Green Jeans, thank you, and I'll be looking forward to your email. Twisted Ponies, yeah, I did make it home. It's been a challenge. I got home at 3 in the morning, and I was unpacking. I had the critical stuff had to get out of my vehicle first, like my nugs and my nug kibbles and my power tools and like my CPAP, which was buried under a bunch of other stuff. Once I got to that point and got my pillow and my CPAP out, about 6 a.m. this morning, I went to bed for just a few little hours and got up, went at it again. And I didn't get my coffee going fast enough now. I zombied out for a couple hours. So, so fast, so cheap. Flip land. I'll send you my email. Yeah, I got to have enough to pay my debts. Top mindset, coach. That's the main thing. I got to get out of debt. Some banks offer a loan and go credit card. I don't know. We'll see, guys. But straight out of Camp Pendleton. Okay. All right, Kilo. You're just straight out of Camp Pendleton. You just left. So you're active duty. I take it. Good for you. All right, folks. Hey, there is a road in Arizona where one of my other friends who's watched me on YouTube for some time, DJ lives. There's a road right next to him. It's called Jarhead Lane or something like that. Jarhead. Yeah, there's a road up there called Jarhead. And there's a Marine lives at the end of Jarhead, as you might guess. So, and that other friend, DJ, he's also a Jarhead. He is Marine, as is my neighbor next door in Arizona. He's also Marine. Well, he's 2 properties over, but he's helped me out a lot. So I got a couple of Marines that have done a lot to help me out building my place in Arizona. So that's all appreciated. Desert. Oh, you're a Desert Storm vet. Okay, salute to you. Thank you for your service. And I want to call it a night here. And because it's already after 4 a.m. and I still got to get up and do some work tomorrow to try to get my vehicles running so I can get around. Because right now I'm grounded. At least I'm in Bama. And I'm not in a hotel room. 3rd Marines, okay. So pray for Cuban nurse prayer for tonight when you go to bed, and we'll do a prayer session. And when I start an earlier live session again soon, you'll have to remind me, folks, if I don't remember to include Cuban nurse prepper in that. So that's funny. We're in Arizona, east of Snowflake, Arizona. Our property is 5,560 feet in elevation, I believe, at the top. So it's over a mile high. So it's cool. It's colder there. Everybody, oh, why are you going to Arizona? It's so hot. No, it's colder there than it is here in North Alabama. It was about 24 degrees last night when I got home. I was worried about my pipes because my house had had no heat in it for days. So I was a little bit worried about my pipes, but fortunately they didn't bust. Anyway, guys, so we got a lot of good people here in the chat. We got a lot of good people subscribe to my channel. I see one more just joined. So do go back and watch this video on the rewind and see what I was talking about with North Korea. And I will be doing a video soon on the border threat and the whole this whole spectrum where the government is doing everything they can to prevent states from doing what they need to do to protect themselves, and failing to follow the law of the land with regard to the border. Why? I'm going to do a whole video on that. And I meant to do it already. It's just time. So that'll be coming out soon. I might just do that as an upload. Anyway, guys, I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you, Super Chatters. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please share my videos. Keep your eyes wide open and the head on a swivel. I know you do that. If you follow this channel, you're a swivel head. So with that, thank you. God bless.